Hello everyone, my name is Lawai Kuzgwe and I'm going to talk about stress. Stress is your body's way to respond to any kind of demand or threat. When you sense a danger, whether it's real or imagined, there are three stages of stress. There is alarm, resistance, and exhaustion. In the alarm stage, the alarm stage refers to the immediate stress response when we perceive a situation that is potentially a threat to us. It is also known as the fight or flight response. In this situation, the nervous system responds by releasing a flood of stress hormone, including adrenaline and cortisol, which rouse the body for emergency action. Your heart beats faster, your muscle tighten, blood pressure rises, the breath quickens, and your senses become sharper. These physical changes increase your strength and stamina, speed your reaction time, and enhance your focus, preparing to either stand and fight or flee for security from the danger at hand. In this situation, you'll see signs like you'll have some symptoms like it will be hard to think clearly, it will be hard to concentrate, it will be hard. You will be focused on the present, the immediate situation, rather than the long term, and in this situation you will cry easily. The second stage is the resistance. In this situation, if the situation that alarmed us does not disappear in the alarm stage, our body goes into resistance. During phase 2, the body shifts the mix of stress hormone over from being mostly the quick-acting adrenaline over to the longer-lasting cortisol. It also releases other hormones, particularly corticosteroids. Because of this, blood sugar and blood pressure levels rises. This is done to help us to maintain energy levels as if you are still fighting off that danger, and to help us to adapt physically to the ongoing tension. The symptoms that you will see are fatigue, the low blood pressure, more hunger, or high blood pressure. You will also have forgetfulness and poor memory, and you also have signs of apathy, loss of interest in work, or loss of interest in personal life in general. The last stage is the exhaustion. If we stay in phase 2 for a long time, the glands that produce the stress hormone become exhausted, as do the organs that have either been stimulated or shut down by the hormones. In this third stage of stress, we feel depleted. The chronic production of stress hormone has worn out our psychological functioning, causing deep physical exhaustion and fatigue even when not going very much. There can also be mental and emotional effects such as depression, the body, such as like we'll have chronic production of stress hormone has worn out our psychological functioning, causing deep physical exhaustion and fatigue even when not going very much. There can also be mental and emotional effects such as depression. The body has depleted its energy as well as its ability to combat disease. The body is both mentally and physically on the verge of collapse. You understand? So the signs of this stage are chronic fatigue, adrenal exhaustion, depression, problems with digestion like bloating, constipation, irritable bowel, and disorder. Irritable bowel disorder. You will also have blood sugar spirals out of control. There is another sort of stress response called the turn and befriend response. This type of response, it consists of the protection of the offsprings and joining of groups for mutual defenses. It is sometimes found in female animals. There are some terms that we have to get familiar with, such as optimism. It refers to the ability to see always the positive things about things. Optimist people always see the glass half full rather than half empty. Self-efficacy is another term which refers to one's belief in his ability to succeed in specific situation or accomplish a task. This is a very good aspect when one is tackling very tough tasks. There is also what we call hardiness. Hardiness refers to the ability to adapt in tough moments and to endure difficult situations. Why is it important to manage stress? It is important to perform very well on our workplaces. It is also important to avoid problems with the community. It is also important to keep our body healthy. We can get some two strategies to cope with stress. The first one is learning how to relax. When you relax very well, when you get some free time for yourself, when you do what you like the most apart from your work, when you walk, that's a very good strategy to cope with stress. The other is avoid procrastinating. When you have some work, you have to put it into task and avoid to procrastinate task after task. This will help you to do everything at its time and avoid to have pressure on the deadline day. I had an experience in which I was successful in dealing with stress. I was working on my school project, and then it was really stressing, and I had a bad moment in that day. So I had even the deadline at 11:59. So I took my time and I went for sport. And after I came and I worked very well on my work. It was really a great experience. But I also had a bad experience where I haven't dealt very well with my stress. In that day, I had to pay some money to my young brother's school fees. So I had everyone calling me to pay that money. So I talked to my parents, and that conversation I had with my parents increased my stress rather than reducing it. So I remained in the same situation for a long time, which didn't help for my dealing with stress. So I conclude saying that it is very well to deal with stress as it can be helpful at workplace, can be helpful at school, and I think that when you do the right choices, you can't have those stressful situations. But we don't have to consider stress as a bad thing, as it can help us to do something very good. Thank you.